Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had a guest on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to bring him right on back. So today's special return guest is Brad Swineheart. He's the Vice President of Business Development over at White Glove. Brad, welcome back to the show.
Hey, happy to be back, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So you have some announcements and some things that you've been doing since we last talked, and I'll just kind of teaser for the audience. It's all around social, and so those advisors out there definitely going to want to hear this. But before we do that, I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners caught your first episode. So let's just start out with what you're doing over at White Glove. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, so White Glove, we specialize in a done-for-you service for financial advisors to grow their practice with seminars, both live in-person community centers, libraries, and also now virtual seminars through the web-based products. And our real value add, if you will, in both models is to do all of the work for the advisor, where we set absolutely everything up, whether that's booking the venue or setting up the webinar platform. We handle all of the marketing. We do the follow-up and registration process where someone registers. We actually wrestle those people in through email, text. Human beings make phone calls to these registrations to drive attendance to either a virtual seminar or a library or community center. And we do that. We do all of the work, but we also take all the financial risk where advisors are only paying us based on actual results and paying on attendance. And really that's White Glove's model, is to be a full service firm that does everything from A to Z, but also takes that financial risk off the advisor, making sure that, you know what, you're guaranteed attendance, you're guaranteed success. And we want to be shoulder to shoulder with the advisors working with us in that respect. We know that they have the most important thing that they do in life is be that advisor and to help their community. We're going to handle all the other stuff to make sure their pipeline's filled and that there's people standing in their lobby.
Man, that's amazing, and I love it. And to the listeners that maybe haven't heard me talk about this, so I remember that when I was an advisor, so I've been in media now going on 4 years, full time. But when I was an advisor, that's what I did. The speak to sell model. I mean, that was it. And I follow you guys on Twitter, and I'm thinking to myself, man, when I was an advisor, why wasn't White Glove around? And if it was around, I'm like, well, come on, man. This is like you're going to fill the room for me. You're going to allow me to work that, and you're going to also take some of the financial risk off the side. I mean, like I always say, like, so what's the catch here, Brad? I mean, but there isn't one. It's just what you do.
Yeah, the catch is, you know what, we're going to make you successful, and your success is our success. You're going to come back and keep reordering with us. So we're all about being on that, shoulder to shoulder, and that's what's led to our great growth over the years is just being on the same side as you. And Adam, it's not too late. You could come back and be an advisor. We could do events together. Maybe we could talk after this.
Oh man, we'll see. I don't know, but I don't even have licenses anymore. It's been a while, Brad, but thank you. So let's switch it up a bit. I want to get into what you're doing now, all surrounding social. So tell us a little bit more about it.
All right. Well, I think what you're hinting at here is our Social Connect program, and really what that is that white glove mentality. That let's do all the work for the advisor. Let's let them stay an advisor and not have to learn a new tool or a new practice or a new trade, and really adapting that to the virtual world that we're in. Let's face it, you're not getting letters in the mail with pictures of your grandkids anymore. But you know what? Mm-hmm. Everyone's still seeing pictures of their grandkids, and how they're seeing that is virtually. They're seeing that when they're scrolling through their phone, right? They're seeing it on Facebook. They're seeing it on social sites. And when an interested person wants to look up an advisor, they're not Googling the website anymore. They're going right to LinkedIn to find out, is this person credible? And we're at that tipping point where if a financial advisor doesn't have a professional social media presence, they're really going to be missing out, and they're not going to look as credible as those that have a very robust professional presence. So what White Glove wanted to do is to take all of our marketing knowledge, all of our back-end algorithms, all this data that we have for being in the business of social media marketing for the last 5 years, and empower advisors to use that to really boost their credibility across the digital platforms. So what we came out with is White Glove Social Connect, and it is a professional social media management program in which the advisor doesn't have to do anything. They can actually just come on, flip the White Glove switch, if you will, and we'll do all the work managing their pages, publishing new relevant content. We brand everything very nicely for the advisor with some awesome lead generation capabilities built in there. But we want to make them look like the most tech-savvy advisor in their community. But the last thing an advisor needs to do is learn how to use a new program or dial into what the Facebook algorithm's doing today because it's different than yesterday. We're going to handle all of that in a very white glove fashion and do all of the work for the advisor. So it's a pretty cool program. And it's going to be a necessity somehow for all of these advisors that they need that professional presence on social media. And we want to be there, again, shoulder to shoulder to help these advisors have that professional, credible presence.
Man, that's amazing. So you've also essentially become their social media marketing agency all at the same time, yes?
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow, that's exciting. What kind of response have you had from advisors on this? I'm just kind of curious on how it's all worked out.
It's actually been massive. We've pivoted a lot of resources to build out that Social Connect platform, and we're
that's not easy. Not easy to do what you're pulling off.
Yeah, and it's just really a no-brainer when the advisor thinks about it. They're either going to have to go out there and build content themselves or buy another tool on the market, but then also they got to learn how to use it or hire someone in their office to run it. And with White Glove, we take all of that away. Not only do we have the tool, not only do we have the content, but we actually assign a human being to every single one of their accounts so that we are going to run those programs for them. So they can make a phone call and say, hey, this is what I want my social media to look like, or hey, can we do this or do that? And then they go back to work. They don't have to worry about how to post on, do I tweet every day or do I post on LinkedIn every other day? They don't have to worry about those cadences and learning those marketing strategies. We do that for them, and it's all very hands-free.
Man, Brad, all I got to say is these advisors these days, these kids, I swear, get everything done for them. You guys are spoiling them over at White Glove. That's what I got to say. In my day, I had to do all my own Facebook posts, and on LinkedIn, we weren't even allowed to put most things on there in my day. Now everybody needs to have it. I'm like, man, oh man, how things changed. Compliance wouldn't even let us have a profile at one point. I love it. So, Brad, that being said, I can talk to you all day about this, but we're about out of time for this episode. If somebody's listening to this, so two-part question for final question. If somebody's listening to this, number one, what is the right type of fit to contact White Glove? What are the kind of advisors or practices that are usually a good fit for White Glove, number one? And number two, what's the best way for them to follow up?
Yeah, so the right type of advisor that should be working with White Glove, if you're looking to grow your practice, you're looking to fill that top of the funnel pipeline, then definitely reach out to us on seminars or virtual seminars. And really any advisor that needs a professional social media presence can reach out to us on the Social Connect platform. So that really is overarching. That applies to a lot of advisors out there. And you're going to need it. And if you want to have really, we're looking for the guys that know that their primary function and what they're best at and what they should be focusing on is client relationships. Outsource the rest of the work to someone that is a professional in whatever you're doing. And that's the type of advisor that works best with White Glove. Easy to reach out to us is just go to our website, whiteglove.com. Very simple. Feel free to stalk me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on there if you have any questions. But yeah, whiteglove.com, we'll have some information on all our services on there, and you can sign up for a phone call. if you'd want to talk to somebody about setting one of those services up.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Brad, great having you back on the podcast. Been great catching up for this Reunion 2020 episode. Love what you guys are doing at White Glove. Definitely going to keep following you guys on Twitter and keep on tracking the progress because you're doing some great things and helping a lot of advisors. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, don't forget subscribe to the channel, but also leave us some comments in the video. I mean, love to know what kind of things that you're working on and what you have going on in your neck of the woods. And Brad, thanks again for coming on the show.